Okay, so we're ready to continue now. The cling film's doing its work. It possibly could stay on a little bit longer, but it'll be okay for this, what we're doing now. I'm going to apply acrylic inks. This is FW. There's also Magicolor, Liquitex. Sorry, that's not Liquitex, that's Schminky. That's Liquitex, and that's Schminky Aerocolor. They're probably my favourites because they're nice and fine and they are lovely to use. So let's see what the cling film has done, shall we? A little bit wet, I think, but oh yes, far too wet. Let me just mop some of that up because I'm not going to be able to do the next stage with it. I'm actually going to use a kitchen towel because you can get some interesting effects with those. So I shall do that. And again, a bit more on here. Okay, now I've got something to work with there. Now, I use the colours neat, straight from the bottle. I don't bother with brushes. I'm actually going to start up here because there's a little bit up here that I think we could do something interesting with. Oh, that's not too far. So that's sepia. I'm going to use a nice dark blue now, go around the bit on the underground sign. I'm not using too much at the moment because I like to see what happens when it's left to move around. And I'm also going to do a bit around there, and I've just realised I've forgotten to mask a bit, but it's too late now. So I might have to do something creative with that later, but that's not an issue at the moment. Right, use a bit more down here. We've got some railings down the bottom here, so I'll try and pick them out a bit. And some down there. The masking is actually quite fragile when it's applied, and I've managed to damage a bit there, so that's going to be tricky to get to do exactly what I want, so it's going to end up being something different. This happens quite a lot with masking. I apply it, but because it's so fragile, it's very easy to just damage the surface if you rub it too hard. Now there's a bust there which you can't see, so let's make it a bit more visible, shall we? These will probably bleed out and be a lot paler than they are at the moment, but it's nice to have the colours in at this level because it really just helps define the piece and give it a bit more character. So now I'm going to have a little bit along there that needs a bit of attention, just to define, colour out some of this area here. It's very tricky at the moment to actually get the right amount of ink in. You can easily overdo it with ink, so you have to go in, do a bit, and then leave it, and then come back again. And that's the hard bit because it's very easy to just carry on, and then you end up with a nasty puddle of ink and no definition, and nothing works how you want it to. So I shall try and refrain from doing that. Now, I actually think I'm going to use some purple on this because there's a nice shadowy area around here. If I can get some definition to the shadows, it might work quite well. Now this here is a little bit dry, so I'm going to have to do something with that to make it behave as I would like it to. So just put a bit more colour in there. Let's have some colour in there. As you see, I have lots of fun when I'm doing this bit. Now, if I now use a water bottle, and it's just a spray bottle with normal tap water in, and I'll just spritz it a little bit there. The trick with watercolour is balancing, using too much and too little. It's very easy to overdo it, and then you reap the consequences if you do. So watercolour, despite people loving watercolour, is not the most forgiving of media, and anybody who uses it any great length will realise that you can never really control it. You just try and persuade it to do what you want it to, and hopefully that will give you what you want. Okay, it's a bit I'm getting to a point now where I'm going to have to stop, otherwise I'm going to risk ruining it. Speak English. And let's have a bit more dark up there. The whole load of windows there, and it'd be nice to actually be able to see them. So there might be something I need to do later on, so I'm just going to put a bit in now. A lot of the colour I'm putting on now might seem intense, but it will bleed out, so actually it'll be a lot more toned down than you would expect it to be. Now I've got a bit up there that needs a bit of detail, and already that's drying out. And what I haven't done, and this is quite dark round here, there's a lot going on, so I'm going to add a little bit of salt to that. I like my salt, if anybody who's ever seen me work knows. So I'm just going to put that on there, hopefully get some nice texture on what is pavement. And it'll hopefully lighten up some of the bits around there as well, and maybe a little bit around there, because it's getting a bit dark around there. I quite like that. See, I'm losing the blue completely, but that's fine. We can live with that. Okay, and I think I'm going to stop there. I will need to do more on that, but I need to let that dry now, so there's not a lot I can do at the moment. So that's first stage of inking on my painting.